election.
Okay.
So, have you done this successfully before? Well, this particular one, I hadn't had a situation where I needed to use it, okay? And but you want to do your research, do your homework, do your research. This is really about you have to just think about this. You are just your trust, your state is really servicing the U.S. government right now. Okay, for Congress, to make that machine work. Okay, the thing about it is your labor. They're depending on your labor in order to source that title and that number. And so it's just your labor. So we're approaching it only from the position of labor. And if you do your research on these particular SF-30, especially SF the non-construction, you know that it's really talking about labor. It's talking about those who are making labor available, specialized services available. And of course, these bonds make sure that we don't have to be reluctant about doing business with the government. So the only reason we're not happy, we have something, we have a contract where it was a one-sided benefit, and you're the beneficiary and you didn't benefit. The government make these documents available right here, so we can just write them up and send them in, and they'll take care of it. And then also we have the CID to make sure that if they don't get on it and take care of it, then you have the CID making the phone calls, because it's all about contracts. It's all about every single contract, and y'all know this whole thing is about us and our signature. And all the contractors out there, but yes, this is also about labor. And these forms are powerful for us because we provide the labor 100%,
And we can.
And so,
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say, after I called the GSA and confirmed where to send these forms, and they told me you send them directly to whoever's claiming you owe. Then.
Because CID is going to go after them if they don't do the right thing. Exactly.
See, so.
May I interject a little bit?
Yep.
Yes, brother. So, like I was telling Brother Burns, that I was fortunate enough to have a friend of mine who had a case. Well, he had several pounds of cannabis, he had guns, he had, different things, and they had him to hang. And I was able to use several of the GSA forms, help him fill it out and stuff like that. And within 6 months, everything disappeared. Yes. So that is my success that I can speak about in relation to using the GSA bonds. But we still didn't use it from a standpoint of using it out of a trust. So what it is I was looking at is having the living trust set up, have the living trust set up and have the trustee of the trust issue the bonds on behalf of the straw man, which is in relation to taking care of what needs to be taken care of. So what it is I am in the mix of doing now is a friend of mine hired me to create 3 entities for him: a sole proprietorship, incorporation, and a trust. So all foreign, or they're going to all be foreign? No. They're all domestic. They're all domestic. And why I kept it domestic with him for him is that the straw man is a domestic entity.
Right.
So by connecting the sole proprietorship to the social instead of getting an EIN, and connecting the sole proprietorship to the trust, which is also under the SSN. Now you have the sole proprietorship performing or creating a performance on behalf of the entity which is supposed to be the straw man. So the sole proprietorship goes by the same name of the straw man.
I can see that.
You understand what I'm doing?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so the sole proprietorship goes by the same name of the straw man, and the sole proprietorship acts in the capacity as the authorized representative instead of the living person. Right. So let me read this for you. So the sole proprietorship is The business is so conducted by me that of private banking as a creditor for the surety of the Social Security number, operating as a trustee, trust protector, and issuer of notes and securities. Discharge and offset any and all debts created in commerce as the authorized representative of this entity. So that is what the sole proprietorship was created to do, right? And I also created a contract between the sole proprietorship and the trust. And the contract stipulates that the sole proprietorship, known as whatever your strawman name is, was created to operate and perform as an entity in commerce known as creditor, private banker, bank trustee, trust protector, and issue of notes and security, to induce and produce private and public contracts, to accept the full faith and credit of the United States, and discharge and settle all debts created under the Social Security number as an authorized representative for the surety known as whatever your name is, to report to the Internal Revenue Service the necessary information of all taxable transactions on a yearly basis, to interact with governmental and non-governmental entities, LLCs, trusts, and incorporated companies, domestic and foreign, to trademark, copyright, and patent all real and personal property, ownership, and holdings upon signature and seal of the both sureties of entities known as the trust name and the sole proprietor name, contracting. This contract will become binding and will become binding for the services listed above. So it's basically a joint contract between the sole proprietorship and the trust with a consultant company as the incorporation that is the mediator between the trust and the sole proprietorship. So the consultant company becomes the office of the trustee on a living trust, and the office of the trustee can now hire, through the Form 56, can now hire accountants, hire lawyers, judges, and whatever, Secretary of State or whatever, appoint them now to operate in the office of trustee to take care of the debt and contract that is created publicly by the Social Security number, which is the strawman.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would do different. That I would have my sole proprietor be foreign, and it would be last name, first name. That's what I would do. Well, listen,
the sole proprietor already have that because I did it like that for myself before. So I'm not doing it for somebody like that because I didn't make it foreign. I left it domestic, operating on the county level. Right. So the county is the republic. So the state is the democracy. Yeah. So this is what people fail to realize. The county is where the republic still lie. So that's right. That's right. Yes. So when you set yourself up in the republic, last name first, first name last, etc. Now you're operating, coming from the republic into the democracy, doing business as a sole proprietorship, removing yourself out of harm's way.
So very powerful thing. People are sleeping on that, but you only can show it just that one critical thing that would be different. But other than that, that's beautiful. That's powerful.
What would you do differently?
I would definitely give my social proprietor 98 number for sure, and it would be last name, first name. I would be operating. Because the last name, first name never was given a number before. And so you want to be able to absolutely provide a number to it to make sure that number is foreign. And you're pretty much untouchable then.
Well, hold on a second. I don't want to become untouchable. I want the sole proprietorship to be touchable through the Social Security, and that is why you have the tax forms that takes care of everything.
Dexter.
You want it, yes.
You, the human, are automatically foreign. And so when you say you don't want it to be foreign, then you're only talking about a commercial entity of yours that you don't want to be foreign. Don't worry, that's not foreign. that is already under jurisdiction. But you, the human, are foreign. Now, if you decide to move all of your public assets out of the public into the private, now you've made all of your stuff foreign.
I understand that, and I agree with you on that. But the difference between you and I is that I don't want to do that.
Well, this is the thing. If you don't recognize that if you don't move your assets out from under the House of Representatives, which is all in the public, because everything in the public belongs to the House of Representatives. They're claiming ownership of everything. If you don't remove it, then you're saying, I want to leave my children, my assets, my belongings to the slave master.
Okay,
you understand?
Okay, so what's your explanation on why you don't want to do that?
Okay, so I want that SSN and that sole proprietorship to always be able to create in commerce.
So
I want it to always be able to create. I don't want to cease. I don't want that entity to ever cease creating.
But that's the problem. If you don't recognize, see, you are the title owner of that asset, not the ones who created it. Okay? You are because if you weren't born, they couldn't have created it. So you were born. When you were born and now you are over the age of majority, you just haven't you haven't recorded on the county level an affidavit of nunc pro tunc letting them know you are of age of majority and you are the title owner of all your assets now. You are competent to take seizure of your assets. Well, then you leaving your assets with the slave master remains under their jurisdiction. So there is no freedom and there is no fairness that is going to be provided to you because you're under a slave master's jurisdiction. Now, when you move it out of the public into the private and then you operate your trust in commerce as a commercial entity in commerce, that is foreign, and now you can do business in commerce but not be under the slave master's jurisdiction. You have to remove everything you have ever put out in the public, remove it from the public so that it can be removed. Because then that way you're letting them know, and this is what we're all going to wind up doing. That's why we're trying to get money as quickly as possible. We're all going to go to London. And if we don't go, what I mean by go is we're going to go online and we're going to go to London because out of London, the Crown Corporation is the one that give you the grantorship of your coat of arms. Your coat of arms is the grantorship that says you are now your own independent house and you are no longer under the jurisdiction of the House of Representatives. That way you can move all your estate and assets, all your deceased family member estates and their assets. Now this is research I just got finished doing because I need to transfer all of my deceased father, mother, sisters, all of their estates out from under the House of Representatives, because if you don't do that, they, under default law, automatically claim ownership.
May I interject for a quick second?
Go ahead.
So I'm going to tell you my experience that I have. I can only speak on my experience of what I have done. When it comes to coat of arms, I have challenged the Vatican, the office of the Vatican with the coat of arms that they use. I have taken that coat of arms that belonged to our ancestors and created postage stamps through the United States Postal Service in the form of publishing, trademark and copyright, submitted it, and they have created a book of stamps for me with that coat of arms. So when you talk about coat of arms, all of those major coat of arms belongs to us, and it's not until we do it the way that I did it in the form of claiming, publishing, which gives you the right to usership and ownership, then you have the ability to do so. So
no, let me say this real quick. Okay, that might be one understanding you have. I don't know if it's the understanding that the Crown Corporation uses, but this is what I found. Okay, and you could definitely go online and find it as well. It's called the College of Arms, and the College of Arms out of London does they appoint, when you do a register of pedigree, it identifies only the male, only the men. So from me submitting a request for pedigree is a genealogical research, because they have record of all genealogical records. And the genealogical research they do of all the men in your family. So if I submit an application, it will start with me. Then they'll identify the other men in my family, my brother, then my father, which my brother, it won't even identify my brother because my brother's came from a different father. So it'll just identify me, and then my father, and then his father, and then, you understand? So what that does, they go all the way back through the male lineage and identify what king you derive from, because we all derive from a king. We're all descendants of kings, okay? So when they identify the king and the coat of arms that king had, then they give you a grantorship, and it's granting you the right to use the coat of arms. They say on their website, if anyone uses a coat of arms that has not been granted, they're committing a felony. Okay, so I can see where after you've been granted, then Dexter, how you registered it with the post office and got your own stamps and have the authority issued through the postal union to have that coat of arms is the aftermath of after being granted, because your grantorship from the Queen, this comes from directly from the royal courts, because the Earl Marshal assigns 2 officers, and this is all explained on their website. The Earl Marshal is assigned 2 officers that are granting you the authority to use the coat of arms. Now that grantorship is like when they grant a knight, a lord, a bishop, a president. You understand? So that automatically makes you independent from the House of Representatives, and you are now under your own house, your father's house. You understand? And you are a direct descendant that is identified with which king and the coat of arms that king used. So now you have the authority to record on the record, on the county, the removal of all your estates, your family member estates, and move them under your house. Because your house is based off that code of armorial. You understand?
I understand the angle you're coming from. I was just explaining to you from my angle what I was able to do and the ability that I had, and they granted me the ability to publish and do everything, because they wouldn't publish or do anything like that if they didn't check it to make sure it was free and clear for me to do so. Right.
But they identify one part that you are allowed to do, but right now, I'm telling you the foundation part that still must be done for you is getting the grantorship from the Crown, because that's them doing the genealogical records of your the male lineage in your family and recognizing what king you descend from, and granting you the authority to operate now as king of your house and your coat of arms that is granted, and now you are independent from the House of Representatives, and now you can move all your estates and your assets from under the House of Representatives, from that slave master. And it's been granted by the highest court, which is the Crown. You know.
So this is what I see in general. What people need to do is understanding exactly what's going on and their personal positions. And it goes back to the explanation of being revealed inside the Matrix, the movie. So basically, once you realize that you are the one, that's when you actually become Neo, and you start operating as such. So once you become Neo still exists both in the public and the private, in Zion and inside the Matrix. But the thing is, he knows he has limited time that he needs to be moving around. He needs to get out and get back in as soon as possible. Only person that can operate at his full capacity inside the Matrix is Mr. Anderson. But see, Neo, the thing is, like, our trust needs to be established to the point where it can operate on its own. Because anybody can establish a trust to today, tomorrow, any day, but it's not operable yet. It's like a newborn baby. So now it needs parents to co-sign until it's able to operate on its own 2 feet. It can walk and run on its own. So these are just the realistic points that everybody had acknowledged when they coming into the game. With a lot of people not acknowledging that reality. Like, oh, I'm gonna start a trust, and that's just, I'm gonna throw away the social. No, you can't throw away your social straw man, because you need him. You need him. You need, because he still got the keys to the Jeep.
Yeah, but then that's why you appoint the trust, because now the trust is the new social in the commercial system that has more interest and more assets attached to it that give you the ability to leverage your existence in the commercial system. Because remember, with the social, they're judging you on so many levels, and the main one is you're broke, you're bankrupt. You understand?
Hold on a second. I beg to differ.
Well, how is it you're not operating as a creditor right now? So as far as they're concerned, you are bankrupt.
No, hold on a second, brother. Because I didn't know I was a creditor, I wasn't operating as such. Right?
Right.
They always knew that I was a creditor.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so based on having that social security number and that entity that is attached to it that create and keep creating, they are able to use whatever is issued underneath that social security number to feed themselves, to feed their broken, their bankrupt system.
Right.
So I'm saying to you, I do not want to ever close down that social security number, because I was born with the ability to create and continue to create, and they know that. So if they can use what I create to help take care of themselves, why can't I use what I create to take care of myself and my trust? Because my trust is just a holding vehicle to protect what I create.
See, yeah, that's fine. But see, in order to protect your trust, you have to set up army guards to protect that in order to protect your social security number, which is that original trust where all your interests and assets are held. You need to set up security guards to protect it, and that's your living trust. Okay, first it's a state EIN number that puts you under the Foreign Sovereign Immunity Act. Then it's the trust number that allows you to use your trust in commerce and not the social security number, because that's a private number that should not be given out in commerce. That's where all your credits are held. That's what they keep attacking and charging and using without telling you.
I agree with what you just said, but now you know that now you can use it effectively for yourself.
Right. It's just like it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. Because being educated to the point of knowing who you are, you know how to go in with that social, and how to and not hold yourself liable. You know what I'm saying? And not, you know how to go into contract, without waiving your rights and stuff like that. So and you can use the straw man to go in there to be like, okay, go get this car for me. I'm gonna use you to obtain it, but once you obtain it, you're gonna pass it down to the trust, which is gonna protect the asset. So
Yeah.
he's just a front man. Like the straw man is just a front man. Go ahead and get it, huh? Put the hat on, go in there and play the role. Yeah, blah blah blah. But yeah, bring it back to the back. We gonna lock it up from here. Peace. That's
so
it.
then that's what Neo does. He lives in both worlds.
But no, you notice how when he comes out for a real quick moment, he goes right back into Zion. That's him interacting in commerce. The second that he comes out, that's operating in commerce. He's in the commercial world. That's what the Matrix is.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, of course, you want to own that, because what would they do? They can have the number. You know they're not going to change that number, but you can definitely claim that name all day long. And you want to own, as a record on the county level, you want to own that name. And any other entity try to tap into it, access the state without, they got to be trespassed.
Absolutely.
So to own that,
absolutely,
to have that name on lock is like, to me, one of the most important things.
It is.
And then, of course, you have the birth certificate to show that I'm the owner, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's just, I mean, that's the foundation of everything before we even start operating as creditors, because that all these paperworks and affidavits and declarations and authentication, all these UCC this, UCC that, all it is building up our insurance to put us in the right standing and status to be able to operate in that fashion. That's all, you know. Putting our copyrights on the record, the power of attorneys, trademarks, the indemnity agreements, and all the other shit. It's just to let them know that we have claimed our authority to operate in this particular capacity. That's it.
Yeah, real deep. Yeah.
You know, because a lot of this stuff works. I say that to say that people jump into this world. You know, whatever they want to call it, secure party, whatever you want to call it, but it's like they operate into it as an instant cure and think the paperwork worked for itself. There's many people that have lots of paperwork filed but have no success in nothing because they don't understand the science behind the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the paperwork doesn't work for itself. You know, it's like you have to know, it's like it's a lot of stuff that could be done just off us, you know, verbally speaking, you know, shutting things down. You know, because they use the word magic on us. We were just talking about the birth certificate earlier. How I was looking at one in 1967. How they had the mother listed as an informant.
Yeah.
And informant is not a good word in no form, in no dictionary. You know, so it's.
We wiser these days, so they don't show it. They don't
right.
show it these days. But back then, now, you know, before it's like they don't know what that means. But
yeah.
We see that.
And then the race is, I think the race say Negro. If somebody call you a Negro, they might as well call you a nigga. We don't accept the term Negro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just little stuff like that. It's so many different things. Like, the paperwork doesn't work on its own. It doesn't have arms and legs. It doesn't do. You have to know what applies to what. Everything don't apply.
And see, that's the thing about it. When you have masterminds like what's on the phone right now, it's like you already know that they violate all the principal laws of the universe. You already know. But the thing about it, they make available remedies to balance that thing out. So we just got to be the one to figure out all the remedies. You know, we got to, you know, don't, you know how sometimes we'll block the information because we want it to be something else when it is what it is. And I love what we discussing here because we're really right on point. I mean, the things that really matter. You know, we got to own that title.
Yeah.
A ship being out in the ocean, all that wind blowing, if they don't have no sail in the situation. So we want to control the sail for sure.
Yep.
We want to control that part. They not giving up the number, of course, unless you go down to Social Security, and you can change that number, but it has to be on, you know, based on religious purposes,
right.
or even someone that you feel threatened with your life. But other than that, we want to control that title. We want to operate through trust. We want to definitely make sure that our numbers are foreign. And the trust is naturally out there in common with dealing with those other entities. Us, we have to be okay with being beneficiaries. Nothing more, nothing less. We're beneficiaries, having a good trustee out there doing the legwork, the footwork, the signing, and everything on your behalf. Either could be the wife, of course, y'all know that, with her maiden name. That's kind of like on the edge, though. But it's not
right.
easy to find a trustee, somebody you can trust. You know?
Yeah.
So but having a trustee representing the trust, you as a beneficiary, and then also using the SF-30 forms the way that they're supposed to be used, because and those SF-30s is not really about you being sovereign. They just commercial documents.
Yeah.
They just commercial documents.
Yeah.
All day straight across the board.
Yeah. That's what it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This process, the process of these forms have nothing to do with anything that you've done before that. It's a per situation. It's like this. The average person assumes that once they get all these filings done, everything's gonna magically disappear. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get access to all these, this field of gold, and nobody's gonna try to present me with an offer. No, that's when the most challenges are gonna come. That's not gonna exempt you from challenge and from the contractors trying to continue to contract, because the right to contract is limitless.
Come on. Yeah. Listen, brother, I want to say something, right? Mm-hmm. I had always taken an opposite view to the private sector. I have always taken a view of the public sector. And why I have done that is because I recognize that the government or the so-called authorities give you the ability to do exactly what the brother say contract, right? So based on learning as it is above, so below, I get to realize that they give you the ability to create a sole proprietorship. Mm-hmm. They give you the ability to create a corporation. They give you the ability to create a trust to operate in and out of. So if they give you the ability to do that, then you have to figure out exactly why they gave you the ability to do these things. So the sole proprietorship is what is a shadow for the straw man. The incorporation gives you the ability to share yourself in a community form, because your incorporation has preferred stocks or common stocks. So if you do a INC, you have preferred stocks. If you do a LLC, you have common stocks. So you have to choose which stock you are from birth. You are preferred stock. So you do a INC to have your preferred stock against your corporation, and your preferred stocks can be shared among your family and your community, and they invest in you to make sure that you get to where you have to go financially, and you share that with them because they have shares in you. The trust is the protector of it, just like the government was created to protect the citizens by embracing or taking the debt that is owed to take care of it for you. So you have to look at how they have their system set up, and you have to fashion or pattern your personal governmental system just like they did. You mirror what they have, and that is that is why I took the venue of public instead of private to get what I need, and after I get what I need, then I can take that into the private
exactly.
My private venue, which would be my family trust. That would be my private venue, my family trust.
I promise you that's the exact same concept I be trying to tell people, because it's like I tell people, like, you know what, I'm getting a little bored. So you know what, how about, I'm taking classes right now at Harvard University, contract law classes and stuff. I'm gonna give me some lawyer buddies so I can get closer to some politicians and some governors, so I can make some phone calls. So now with somebody, I can just make a call now. But we only gonna be able to get these type of connections and relationships if we go out into the public and we know how to operate it. So I'll play the dumb role, because I already know, based on just my current level of understanding, that the average lawyer don't know shit. So if you want me to go, so if I could take some courses here and there and get some pretty certificates and a bachelor's degree that I pay a couple $dollars for, so I just show up to some parties and events and I get both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it.
You got to know the other side.
You got to know the other side, and that's why I tell people that's what I mean when I say you don't have to like it, but you have to respect the other side. You have to respect it enough to be able to want to understand it. You know, you have to see how they are able to screw us. Like what happened at what point that allowed them to be able to do this and operate in this capacity and to have me in this position. Once we learn that, we need to mimic that and alter it to better fit us and the way we want our lives to be. That's because they're giving us the answer because they're doing it to us. That's how they're operating. It's just like we was talking about the bonds. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is in relation to exactly how they're doing it. It needs to have an insurance policy. It needs to have this, needs to have that. You know what I'm saying? So everything has to be in conjunction with some type of contractual agreement amongst parties, period.
You know, that's amazing that you mentioned that because we really have to. One thing that really helped me about this whole situation is that my whole background, my whole commerce run through my veins. Okay, commerce. My brothers, they want to talk about sports. When we was growing up, I want to talk about how to start a business. You know. So that's not. So when we're dealing with this whole situation, we have to respect that this is straight commerce at its purest level, okay? And everything is already set up. But when we see it all in place, like you look at the USA, they use DBAs more than anybody.
Yeah.
Corporations use DBAs, they're the masters of DBAs. Why should we be mastering these DBAs as well? You know? Come on. We should be able to use them to do whatever we need to do, okay? Yeah. Now, one thing that's real powerful, too, when you get that 98 number, you can use that to get other EIN numbers.
Exactly.
And because the 98 is getting it, they're going to all be formed.
Exactly. I know it. So we get the 98 number.
My brother Dexter, even though you can still do what you need to do in the public, that's what the trust is for. Because entities can only deal with entities, fiction can only deal with fiction. So that's what the trust is for. It just that's why you can step back and be a beneficiary, because the trust is going to be out there naturally doing what it's supposed to do. The only thing different with the trust, it's going to have a foreign 98 number. It's going to have a foreign number. That's the only thing going to be different while all these other companies are domestic numbers. And then inside the IRS system, they know which numbers is foreign and which one is domestic. You just want to make sure all your numbers are foreign. That's it. And you be good.
With that 98 number, now we can use that. We can use that to actually create a whole new straw man. So we take the 98 and then we go in there and we do a simple trust. You know what I'm saying? We get that 82 to 83 number. And then from there we use that and we go in and create a partnership. When we do the partnership, that partnership is just business between the parties within the partnership. That's automatically government exclusion. So from there, once we do that, where it says on the application, it says I forgot where it says. It's normally a person will put a number, a name or something right there. But what we do is we put the instead of a name, we put the a CPN number. So when we get the verification page from the IRS, it has the trust number, and up under there that it has the CPN. So now we have a verified document from the IRS listing the CPN number. So now we can take that into the bank now, and so now it looks as if that it appears to be that's our social. You want a straw man? Here you go.
Come on now. Remember, this your kingdom. It's your kingdom. You have your own set of numbers and titles, okay? And you're able to use them in common, okay, through your trust to do everything need to be done while you sit back 100% beneficiary status.
100%.
And so being in the public, you can still be private. The thing about it, you don't want to have nothing domestic for no reason whatsoever. Why? Because you don't need nothing to be domestic, okay? For us, now that we become aware, we are 100% foreigners. We are 100% private, 100% foreign, and we're able to do any and everything that everybody else is doing, except when it comes down to our status, we're out of their jurisdiction, we're off limits, okay? It's just because of the fact that we kept it foreign all the way through. everything, 100% foreign source 98 and all the numbers. Like I've been able for the people that I've been helping, you know, to get all their state numbers. We use the EIN number, the 98 number to get all of their state numbers. You know, just within about 10 minutes time, with the 98, the student or the individual have the state number. You can get with the CPA and you know, of course, get all the documents together and get those taxes filed on behalf of the state. And then, of course, and just back out, you know, bow out and let the trust be up front and just make sure we're foreign, okay? And you out there in the domestic, in the public, you're in the public, and you're getting everything done that needs to be done. And they don't know no difference. They don't know, you know, the computer knows,
right.
Okay? They know that it's the status of it, but other than that, it's just you know, it's just everything is just, you know, they're doing the same thing that they do.
And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. We giving them what they think they want, and we getting what we need. Period. You know what I'm saying? So this the thing. So we talking about being completely still in the private and being or completely foreign. We have to find ways to operate in that and such all the way around the board. It's because one of the biggest and easiest contracts they got people tied into is that driver's license contract. So you see what I mean? So that's why our foreign driver's license come in and our international driving permits and the vehicles need to be inside of trust. So when they run them plates, it's tied to a trust, not the individual person, because they tie that plate registration to the person in which they can read and verify whether they have a valid contract with the state, which is the driver's license. And if you have a valid contract with the state, now you can't argue talking about you got a right to travel because you waived your right to travel in exchange for a privilege to drive. So people got to understand what they doing now. We would have a right to travel, but you pull out a driver's license and give it to them and present the contract that you showed that shows you don't have a right to travel. You have a privilege to drive. So now step out the car, sir, put your hands behind your head. Hell out of here. You see what I mean? Stuff like that. These are the contracts that keep us in bondage.
The contract, you gotta keep it, you gotta be about the contract, or everything is about the contract. Who's controlling the contract? Is it a fair contract? Is it a one-sided, you know, or is it just the state benefiting? You know, that's what we have to make sure of as a beneficiary, make sure that it's a smooth-running machine. You know, as far as the wealth is concerned, y'all know the estate is already loaded. It's already loaded, and then it's tapped into that big pool of infinite digits, you know. But one thing that I noticed that when I was stopped in my car, coming from, I'm here in the cabin, of course, I was coming from Calabasas, and those officers stopped me. I was driving a Jaguar with no license plate. I was like, you know, I'm learning to study this stuff. I'm gonna have to go on and jump in the water, you know. I was in the car with no license plate, and they stopped me. And one thing that I did for my studies and research, I kept it pouring 100% with those officers. They tried to make it like, oh, you want to stop, and I was like, oh no, absolutely not. This automobile is the property of a foreign state. I'm the trustee operating this motor vehicle, okay, and you know, so that's the bottom line. And I gave him a UCC. I gave him a UCC contract, and the thing that worked, okay, was this. I kept it foreign. I showed him a contract. I gave him some paperwork, but it was not their registration.
Right.
It was not their driver's license. It was all my property.
Right.
It was all 100% my property.
Right.
And they was able to see by UC, they saw that the automobile, they saw that the state was under contract with the trust on the UCC. They saw the UCC was recorded in the county, on the county level, because y'all know they don't, you know how they respect county. And so they called it in, and then they came back, and I didn't give them no license plate, I didn't give them no driver license, I didn't give them no insurance, I didn't give them no registration. I just gave them my contract.
See, that UCC number becomes the title number. That UCC number becomes the new title number for that vehicle now.
Come on, brother.
You know, hey, so I have a success story with these GSAs I want to share with y'all. I just wanted to play devil's advocate on as far as using it the traditional fashion in conjunction with the estate, the trust, and the birth certificate and stuff like that. So, okay, so this is the response. So the same forms, except using the silver bullion bond, right? So this is the response that got back. Okay, so this is for a traffic case that was involved with speeding and reckless driving or whatever. So this wasn't me though, but it's but anyway. So this is how they have it. This is how they have him addressed it. I'm gonna change his name for whatever purpose. Hold on one second. Let me switch it up. Let me see. James, Tina, Anderson. Okay, so they have them as first name, last name of the house. I'm sorry, first name, middle name, first name dash middle name. I'm sorry, of the house of last name, and then it has the PO box or whatever, and then it says state of Nebraska, state of Oregon versus first name dash middle name of the house of last name, and then it has the case number and citation number. Now, these agencies hate to lose for one, but they damn sure hate to admit they lost. Damn sure on paper. So, and then they have a traditional form of language that I haven't seen them talk like this before in a letter. So this would reveal to me the power of using these with the silver bullion bonds. So okay, so now we all know in the courts, the highest court is dealing in trust, equity, and covenant, right? Which is the foundation that they don't operate on, because they're in Admiralty and Maritime. So we have to bring the courts into trust, covenant, and covenant law. So it says notice of entry of judgment. It says the court entered a conviction against you on July 17, 2018, imposing a sentence to pay fines, assessments, and costs on the case cited above. Then it says, here's the catcher. They say with equitable standing. When did they ever use words like this? With equitable standing as presented by first name, middle name of the house of last name, the court has concluded lack of jurisdiction and no contract. Therefore, a dismissal and discharge of case number and fine amount of $270 for speeding and $270 for reckless driving against first name, middle name of the house of last name is discharged as of July 27, 2018. So within 10 days, this is the response for the total amount of $540. Enclosed are copies of all the original federal forms that was accepted and applied for the discharge of the case cited above. No further actions or presentiments can or will be issued. Case dismissed. I say what? So I say okay. Okay. So in conjunction with the GSAs and the silver bullion bonds, because we dealing with the real money, we be talking about silver. So dealing with this, that makes them acknowledge us in our royal capacity.
Exactly.
Man, that's all I need to see.
So when you see that, you're able to step back and assess it and dissect it and just really get that nugget out of that.
Man, I've been sleeping on it ever since in so many different and the guy, the member that did it is disappeared off the planet Earth now. Now he got his sauce, because ultimately I needed to, even though I can look at the forms that I created my own templates based on the silver bullion bond, but why should I want to actually see exactly how you did the forms with the silver bullion bonds, as opposed, so I can compare and contrast, and then come establish my own template or whatever like that. But he disappeared or whatever. So, but I did create new templates that I do feel 100% comfortable with. But man, it's no questions asked on the power of these. Yes. So basically, what I'm telling you guys is that, even while we figuring out what else to do with these bonds as far as liquidation and stuff like that, man, I got exact results and success records of using these in transaction with anything, in conjunction with these GSA bonds. It's like a whole nother respect level. It's one thing for some shit to get dismissed or discharged, disappear, whatever like that. To get a letter back, a correspondence back like this, that just that reveals a whole nother level to me.
Yeah, because that's the bottom line there, and the bottom line is the contract. That's what it is. It's that contract. So based on what that information, based on that letter. What stuck out to me the most is that we have no contract.
No contract. And to me, it's a few things. It's equitable standing. Remember, it's all about see. People stuck on status. Status is cool, but that still ties you to a corporate construct. It's all about standing. Equity.
That's amazing, because when I was doing my real estate on a big level, those people who own the houses will be the ones who's like, well, I'm out of paying this payment. The real estate agent has been trying for several months. They want me to make payments, and because they owed more on the property than what it was worth, they had no equity. It was like they had no value. But for us, we have all the equity, 100%. How are we gonna leverage our equity?
Right.
How are we gonna leverage our equity? And that's what you need to leverage your equity. You definitely did that.
Now, remember we was talking about the county, right? One of y'all said it. How that's the republic, right?
Yes.
Okay. So notice even when how Patrick was designing his GSAs, he as one of the titles, he listed himself as a Republic banker, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking, like, based on me looking at, if you go look up my county record of my bond, it lists the bond as instrument number. These are banking terms, right?
Yes.
It says instrument number, and then it's also a registered bond. That's because the bond had to be was sent through registered mail, and that's the actual bond number. So that's circulating through the UPU, in which it's another insurance policy included with each registered mailing because of the registered mail. It insures to the value up to $50,000, in which we can pull from. So when we go to the bank, aka the court, and order a certified copy or order a withdrawal of something that we deposited, right? We get it's called a certified copy, in which they stamp on that shit, which the banking like that's like a form of medallion, and then they give us a receipt number and a doc number that's on the receipt, and they ask you, so who you want us to write this out to? So what? Don't that sound like when somebody asks me, like, so you want this written out to? That sounds like somebody asks me who I want a check written out to.
Exactly.
Don't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
So long story short, this is all the information that I put up under the surety section on the bond, on the GSA. So I put silver bullion bond, original special issue, as just how they got it listed in the county, held with Michael B. Brown of Lake County, Indiana. Instrument number, blase, blah, blase, blah. Registered bond number, blase, blah. Receipt number, doc number. Grantee is a silver bullion bond recorded 2018-6-4. And then the grantor is my first name, middle name, the house of my last name.
Right.
And where it says, at the bottom where it says the principal, I put my house seal, the seal of my house right there where it says the seal. I fix my seal on there, and then when I sign it, I'm a thumbprint it in the red ink.
But see, you make the silver bond the surety.
Yeah, the surety. No, I'm talking about where it says the principal.
Right, but I'm saying here in the surety box, you made the silver bond the surety.
It is a surety.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the idea of using the trust as the use the state, aka even the surety bond that belongs to the estate. As the surety, and then of course for the principal, I like the idea what you mentioned, my brother Burns, for the as far as the principal part though. Let that trust be the principal, and let the estate be the surety, and I don't see how they can have any issues with that, because they are representing in the way that according to the laws of the trust law and the state law, we're doing it accordingly. We're doing it. And also insurance too. Remember, this is an insurance policy we deal with too. You gotta keep on that insurance policy. Can I interject there for 1 second?
Definitely.
Okay, so the estate is the surety, supposed to be the surety. The trust is the underwriter.
Right. The underwriter as principal.
Okay. So I just needed to correct that for you all. Okay, that will work. That will work. The trust being the underwriter, since it is the principal. Okay. And the sole proprietorship / social security number is the principal that created debt. The trust is the underwriter, and the estate is the surety. That the estate is the surety for sure. Okay. Yeah. Well, you notice you study those SFs, you notice you're dealing with insurance. Look at the terms they use. Surety, you know it all day long. And bonds also.
Yeah.
Bonds, come on.
Yeah, this is all this is.
That's y'all talking about making an insurance claim. That was the document.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was telling Francis. I'm like, bro. I'm like, literally. It makes me think of the end game of the insurance companies, the State Farms, stuff like that. Like, forget the insurance agents, the people that don't know shit that's signing people up. You know what I'm saying? They're there to receive applications and get all the front end paperwork needed to be able to, and have certain power of attorney to be able to discharge certain debts with particular bonds on their behalf. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe no real money is being cashed out per se. The insurance companies are just, accepting monthly notes for their own pockets. They're not using it towards a claim, because you would think, like, in general, without any secondhand knowledge or anything else, okay, we're an insurance company and we start off, we're gonna charge people X amount of dollars a month. Of course, we want to hope that everybody doesn't have an accident at the same time, because hopefully we have enough capital to cover all those incidents and still survive off of, right?
They hope they can meet margin call.
Exactly, because we will be up under the ignorant assumption that the monthly payments and the premiums that people are paying every month are going towards covering actual, but that's not. So if that's not, so if we acknowledge that, this will reveal our understanding why these GSA bonds make so much sense, because they're not using no goddamn Federal Reserve notes to pay no debt. Just like if one of us is thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt, and we go call up banks, debt stoppers, and all these other law firms to discharge our debts upon the bankruptcies and stuff like that. If anybody ever paid attention to the documentation inside of a bankruptcy, power of attorneys. It's like a secure party creditor package.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they lied and pretend like, oh, you're gonna go to these creditors classes and stuff like that. And they always talk about they go in front of the judge. Nobody, I challenge anybody to admit that they ever seen a judge in bankruptcy. You never see the judge, but they tell you they talking to him, and they go to court. You ask, oh shit, I want to go to court too. Oh no, you don't got, you good.
That's why they have lawyers.
There's no court.
Because the lawyers know already the secrets to filing. See, people think that, like, I have a friend, Jamaican girl, and she paid the lawyer $1,000 to go do her bankruptcy for her. When I told her, well, I just pulled up the bankruptcy form, and it's just as simple as filling it out.
Going right there.
Yeah, and filing it with the court.
It's like $200.
Because it's a discharge.
Yeah.
And the court's going to charge you a fee. So you pay that fee, but you don't have to get an attorney to file it. You pro se litigant. You're the one who come in and file it on your own behalf.
The bankruptcy literally only costs like a couple $100 though.
Yeah, I know.
And you could do a payment plan.
But she paid him $1,000 straight out.
But think of like companies like Death Stoppers that charge you like $150 a month. You know what I'm saying? So your whole total would be like $5 grand, $6 grand total. Like they put you in like 3-year, 5-year terms. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So all together you pay these people $5, $6, $7 grand. You know what I'm saying?
To do something that he already did with one form.
So that would mean they have...
And it still has you as a surety.
Exactly. Which they probably eating again on the back end.
Definitely.
So that means somebody going to the courthouse, putting down probably a $25 down payment to start it, and they don't close it out until you pay them their last month sum, right?
Right.
Because they did, even though it's $200 just to file, you can still get a payment plan for a bankruptcy.
And more than likely, the attorney is getting a payout from the back end from the court.
Hell yeah. I don't think, especially like Death Stoppers, I think it might be one real attorney per office. Everybody else just custom service agents.
Right. Well, one real attorney who knows how to process cattle coming in, make money off that cattle, and keep that cattle on a debt system that continues to pay him.
That's just like this one clerk at the county, but they all using his stamp.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hilarious, man. It's a dirty game, but you gotta love it.
No, I don't love it. Once again, no, you do not have to love deceit and fraud. You don't have to love it. You don't have to respect it, and you definitely sure don't show honor to it. It's deceit, it's fraud, it's the Antichrist. It's the everything opposite the truth.
True.
You know, so thank you so much, guys, for being on the line with us.